And greetings, everybody. Keith here. Hoping everybody's having a good day, enjoying life, living life, loving life. Coming at you tonight from Paul Jr. and the Heroic Imagination Project as we talk about the amendment to the leash law. Well, it seems when we made the leash law, we forgot about the collars. So we're going to do some research tonight on the collar law. And the collar law specifically, oops, let me pull my stuff up here. I lost it somehow. See if we can find it real quick. Because the leash law, as we created last year, what do you want to call it? And we, like I said, we found out we need a collar to go with that leash. And so we're going to do some research tonight for Clothing of Leash Law Animals Registry. We have to create a registry for all the slaves that are being adopted and all the leashes we've planned to give out. And so now we're going to talk about the color, the Clothing of Leash Law Animals Registry. And before we get into that, let me go ahead and read to the leash law. Requesting that Pepito proclaim 2022 as the year of the bitch. Leash law. Let every American slave heal. And that's H-E-E-L, not H-E-A-L. And it says, whereas all bitches beta male slaves adhere to the word of a fictional daddy, have made a unique contribution in shaping the United States as a distinctive and fucked nation of people. Whereas deep beliefs in fiction and convictions springing from the total illiteracy led to the early demise of this nation. Whereas bitches beta male slaves teach concepts of government servitude that are contained in their own determinations of the Declaration of Independence, Constitution of the United States, and various other writings based in, on, and for fiction. Whereas many of the best bitches beta male slaves pay tribute to the indoctrination of General Education Provisions Act in the development of the American country, and as in the words of Pepito, let every American slave heal, the very rock on which your slavery rests. Whereas the history of America clearly illustrates the value of voluntarily applauding the teachings of these fictions and convictions in the lives of all bitches, beta male slaves, whereas America now faces great challenges that will test these slaves as they have never been tested before, and whereas that renewing their adherence and faith to the word of the fictional daddy to let every American slave heal through more and continuing indoctrination can save tremendous cost to silver spoon-fed motherfuckers that can't do shit for themselves. Now, therefore, be it resolved by Pepito's daddy of representatives of the United States of America in the field assembled, that Pepito's daddy is authorized and requested to designate and to proclaim 2022 as Year of the Bitch, in recognition of both the formative influence the bitches beta male slaves has been for America and their need to study and apply the teachings of bitches beta male slaves. Approved this November 4th, 2022, signed by me. So we're going to do some of that research for the beta bitch male slaves. And in so doing, let me bring up our screen here. And as we see, folks, we are going to talk about designation of workers by collar color. Yes, folks, You see it right before your eyes. This is already in the public domain and proclaimed by Wikipedia. So let's learn a little history about the collar. You ever heard about the white collar and the blue collar workers? Did you know there's such thing as a pink collar and other such collars? So let's take a look at it, folks. Collar, color is a set of terms denoting groups of working individuals based on the colors of their collars. Worn at work. These can commonly reflect one's occupation with a broad class, or sometimes gender, at least in the late 20th and 21st century. These are generally metaphorical and not a description of typical present apparel. For the two terms of longest use, white collar workers are named for the white collared shirts that were fashionable among office workers in the early and mid 20th century. Blue collar workers are referred to as such because in the early 20th century, they usually wore sturdy, inexpensive clothing that did not show dirt easily, such as blue denim or cambric shirts. Various other collar descriptions exist as well, although none have received the kind of broad use in American English as the traditional white collar, blue collar distinction. White collar, the term white collar was coined. Remember, folks, I always tell you to coin your words or purse your lips. In the 1930s by Upton Sinclair, an American writer who referenced the word in connection to clerical, administrative, and managerial functions during the 1930s. A white-collar worker is a salaried professional, typically referring to general office workers and management. Blue-collar. A blue-collar worker is a member of the working class who performs manual labor and either earns an hourly wage or is paid piece rate for the amount of work done. The term was first used in 1924. So we have white collar in the 1930s and blue collar in 1924. Pink collar. Did you know there's such a thing as a pink collar? A pink collar worker is also a member of the working class who performs in the service industry. They work in positions such as waiters, retail clerks, salespersons, certain unlicensed assistive personnel, and many other positions involving relations with people. The term was coined in the late 1970s as a phrase to describe jobs that were typically held by women. Now the meaning has changed to encompass all service jobs. So I got to ask everybody, if the Postal Service is a service job, then shouldn't they be wearing pink too? Oh, goodness gracious. So let's talk some more about this. Other classifications. There are a number of other terms used less frequently or which translate to English from common use in other languages. These categories include red collar, government workers of all types, derived from compensation received from red ink budget. What is a red ink budget? Is that a bankrupt budget? In China, it also refers to Communist Party officials in private companies. New collar develops technical and soft skills through non-traditional educational paths. No collar. Artists and free spirits who tend to privilege passion and personal growth over financial gain. The term was popularized on the reality game show Survivor Worlds Apart, which used no collar in addition to the white and blue collar as tribal divisions. Also, people who work but not for payment. People who work but not for payment. Now, I'd like to take a real quick minute to remind folks the StreamYard link is down there for anybody who wants to join the panel as we go through and discuss this and try to come up with a collar law amendment. Also, people who work but not for payment. Orange collar, prison laborers, named for the orange jumpsuits commonly worn by inmates. Green collar, usually referring to military personnel, but can also refer to workers in a wide range of professions relating to the environment and renewable energy. Brown collar, referring to military personnel, but there's no citation. But this one here says usually referring to military personnel, but can also refer to workers in a wide range of professions relating to environment and renewable energy. That would seem to be the civil class. Scarlet collar is the workers in sex industry. Oh yeah, that scarlet letter. Black collar, manual laborers in industries in which workers generally become very dirty, such as mining or oil drilling, has also been used to describe workers in illegal professions. Again, citation needed. Open collar refers to a worker who works from home via internet, likely freelance. Gray collar, workforce that is not classified in blue collar nor white collar. It is occasionally used to describe elderly individuals working beyond the age of retirement, as well as those occupations incorporating elements of both blue and white collar. Gold collar refers to young, low-wage workers who invest in conspicuous luxury. These are the ones that they're looking for. They're looking for the golden lambs. You know, the ones that are being taught how to spend all kinds of mommy and daddy's money and not a single thing about how to protect the estate. Alternatively refers to highly skilled professionals in high demand fields such as doctors, lawyers, engineers, pilots, and scientists. Giving them a pat on the back for learning so much in their field and negating and being ignorant of the most important. Okay, and we are done with that. So we see, folks, it's just a matter of finding out how to classify you to determine what color collar to put on your ass. You bitch-ass slaves. It's coming. It's gorilla season. Put them steel-plated gorilla shoes on and start stomping the shit out of slavery if you know what you're doing. If not, get ready to wear a collar. So in the meantime, folks, I want to let everybody know I love you, but I don't give a rat's ass whether you love me back or not. So may God bless you, and have a good night, folks.